This village has no people until sunset. At dusk the valley lights flicker like fireflies, and a thin mist curls over stone roofs, casting an ethereal glow over the landscape. I am Marc, a mountain guide from Grenoble, and I will tell you how I found it in 1987, a year that still feels etched in my memory like the lines on a well-worn map. I had been tracking a lost hiker named Luck for 3 days, my senses heightened as I navigated the treacherous terrain, the silence broken only by the sound of my boots sinking in fresh snow and my breath forming white clouds in the cold air. The crunch of snow beneath my feet was the only constant, a reminder that I was still moving, still searching. By nightfall the wind howled through pine trees, its mournful cry sending shivers down my spine, and a thin rain began to patter on my jacket, threatening to seep into my bones. I thought I would reach the pass before darkness, but the storm forced me to turn back toward a small ridge, the wind and rain combining to reduce visibility to almost zero. I saw a glow ahead, warm and steady, like a hearth hidden in the rocks, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Curious, I crossed the ridge and entered a narrow valley that did not appear on any chart, the map in my hand suddenly useless. The glow came from a cluster of stone houses, their windows shining amber, smoke curling from chimneys, and a scent of broth rose from a doorway, rich and sweet, and I felt my stomach tighten with hunger, my mouth watering at the prospect of a hot meal. I knocked on the first door, a heavy oak slab, the sound echoing off stone walls, but there was no answer. I knocked again, louder, the wood echoing off stone walls, the silence that followed even more deafening. Still nothing. I pushed the door and stepped inside, my heart beating faster, my senses on high alert. The interior was warm, the fire crackling, a pot of soup steaming on an iron stove, and a wooden table was set for 2, but the chairs were empty, the atmosphere eerily intimate. I heard a soft rustle from the kitchen, but when I turned, the room was empty, the silence sudden and oppressive. My heart beat fast, my skin prickled, as I called out, "Hello?" The only reply was the sigh of the wind through the cracks, a gentle whisper that seemed to carry 1,000 unspoken secrets. I felt a chill run down my spine, yet the heat of the fire kept my fingers from freezing, a strange juxtaposition of warmth and fear. I sat down, ate the soup, and felt my strength return, the flavors dancing on my tongue, a brief respite from the uncertainty that surrounded me. While I ate, I noticed the walls were covered in old photographs, black and white images of men in wool coats, women in long dresses, all staring straight ahead, their eyes seeming to follow me as I moved, their gazes piercing and unblinking. Their faces were etched with a deep sadness, a sense of longing that seemed to transcend time and space. I glanced at the clock on the mantle. Its hands were stuck at midnight, the time frozen, as if the very fabric of time had been warped and distorted. I thought the night must be endless here, that the darkness would never lift, and I felt a shiver run down my spine at the thought. I stayed until the soup was gone, then I tried the door again, the wood creaking softly as it swung open, and I stepped out into the cold, the chill hitting me like a slap in the face. The village was silent, the lights still flickering, but the streets were empty, the houses looming above me like sentinels. I walked toward the edge of the valley, hoping to find a road, the path covered in fresh frost, the houses beginning to fade, their outlines blurring like a mirage, as if they were being erased from reality itself. By the time I reached the ridge, the village had vanished, leaving behind only a few stone foundations, cold and dark, as if they had never been lit, the memory of the warm glow and the scent of broth already fading into the distance. I turned back to my compass, but the needle was stuck, pointing straight at the empty square where the village had stood, constant reminder of the mystery that lay before me. I spent the night in a shelter, shivering, my mind racing with questions and doubts, and in the morning I reported the sight to the local gendarmerie, my words tumbling out in a rush as I tried to convey the strangeness of what I had experienced. They sent a team, but they found only ruins, frost-covered stones, and an old sign that read, Village de la Nuit, the words seeming to whisper secrets in the wind. No footprints, no recent fire, just an unsettling sense of absence, as if the village had never existed at all. The gendarmes logged the incident, noting that 19 people had disappeared in the area over the past decade, all drawn toward a similar glow, their fates a grim reminder of the dangers that lurked in the darkness. Their reports mentioned a soft humming, a feeling of being watched, and the same frozen compass, a strange convergence of events that seemed to defy explanation. The case file listed 47 missing persons, the highest number for any single region in the Alps, a stark testament to the power of the unknown. I could not shake the image of those empty windows, the frozen clock, the photographs that seemed to stare back, their faces etched in my memory like a scar. Some locals say the village appears only when the moon is full, that the houses breathe as the wind passes through, that the doors open on their own at midnight, the whispers and rumours weaving a spell of intrigue and mystery. They warn travellers not to follow the glow, for it leads to a place that does not exist in daylight, a realm that lies beyond the boundaries of reality. I still carry that frozen compass, a reminder that some places live only in darkness, a tangible connection to a world that lies just beyond the edge of our perception. If you ever hike the Grand Cas and see a warm light flicker on the horizon, remember my story, the details etched in your mind like a warning. You might be stepping into a night that never ends, a realm where time itself is distorted and the darkness is alive. Would you knock on a door that wasn't there yesterday?